Hi, my name's Avril Kellett. I'm a managing partner of Amrop in the UK, global executive search firm. I'm working alongside Women's in Payment to look at the careers of leading inspirational females in the payment and fintech arena. Today, I'm joined by Lola Adebanji from Citi. Lola, hi, really nice to see you.
Avril, thank you so much for having me. Great to be here.
Well, I'd love to hear a little bit about your career to date.
Sure. So I've been in the banking industry for going on close to about 20 years now. And I think about half of that, the last 10 years or so, have been really much more focused on payments. And in that context, I've worked in South Africa. So I started off in South Africa with Citi and then moved to the UK. So being in the UK as well. And my current role with Citi, I lead commercialization and growth for a brand new sort of payment startup within the Citi organization, which is focused on powering e-commerce growth for our global institutional clients. So that's kind of been a little bit of what I've been doing today.
Well, fantastic. And well, with that in mind, I'm keen to know what has been your biggest challenge.
So I think I would say for me, it's been really this toggle of my drive to excel at work and at home. So balancing growing a career in such a dynamic, fast-paced industry like payments, it's constantly evolving and staying on top of that. And wanting to kind of, be on top of that and combining that with growing and nurturing my young family as well. But I have been fortunate to work in an environment largely within Citi that really appreciates and supported my need for work-life flexibility, right? So that's enabled me to be able to pull different levers and prioritize different things at different stages of my career.
And so important for females in particular.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Balance and children.
Yeah, and for me, flexibility as opposed to balance.
Yes, indeed. And what do you feel has been your greatest accomplishment in your career? I mean, there may be more than one.
Yeah, so I would actually say my current role, because really what this role has enabled me to do is to be a core part of a founding team, right? That is actually building a global consumer payments business from scratch, and really kind of leading our go-to-market strategy, our commercialization strategy, and successful launch of that in the UK. So going from blank slate and actually bringing a brand new payments business to life, I think has been a great personal accomplishment for me and for the broader team involved in it.
Yeah, absolutely, that's great. And is there anything on your journey that you would have done differently? What would that have been?
Yeah, so even though my basically most of my career in banking has been at Citi, I've had lots of different roles and taken lots of different turns in my journey. But I would say, one thing that I probably would have done a little bit differently is take even more risks earlier in my career and really push myself even more to try things that were perhaps not as comfortable for me. So that's one thing I would say.
So you were less risk averse in your earlier years than you are today.
Yes, than later years, shall we say.
And I mean, well, leading on from that, I mean, what advice would you give to aspiring women professionals in this industry? Is it take more risk?
Part of it, but I would say maybe two things. One is, and this is very important for me, is believe in your worth, which is something that sometimes doesn't come naturally to us as women. Speak up and ask for what you need, because fundamentally, if you don't ask, you have no chance of getting, because people just don't know. So believe in your worth and really ask and go for what you need. And then I think secondly, related to the risk point, is courage. Right? Take the paths that feel uncomfortable, because that's where the real growth lies. And that's something that I've discovered sort of midway through my career up till now. And that's really been very helpful for me.
And how have you helped others come on their journey?
Sure. So for me, it's been more about trying to model the behaviors of people who have helped me and be very supportive throughout my journey. So what's resonated with me and trying to kind of model that in supporting others. So for example, mentoring obviously is very important, and helping women to the point I made earlier around really believe in their worth and believe in what they're capable of and really push themselves. But then also secondly, also that I find quite important is helping helping to amplify the contributions and achievements of others. Because again, as women, that's not something that necessarily comes to us naturally. You know, we do something great and we're like in our little circle. And I think that's very important to get to that next level and help people to actually achieve and give them the opportunity to be noticed for potential opportunity, for potential new roles that might be good for them to take on.
Yeah, that's good advice. We always fall back far too much, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, how important of your networks and connections been in assisting your career trajectory?
I would say very important for me in my growth and trajectory. I mean, my networks played quite a key role. I would say, in fact, in the last number of years, most of my roles have come through my networks as opposed to actually applying for jobs. And I have been fortunate to have had a long career at Citi and really had that opportunity to build those networks largely through collaboration across the aisles, across multiple business lines. But for me, networking doesn't come naturally. So the way I achieve that is through collaboration. I build my networks through collaboration. And by doing that, I think it's important to look beyond, collaborate more broadly, look beyond your immediate teams or your immediate stakeholders, and really reach across business lines, both internally and externally, because it's in doing that that people start to associate you with bringing value to every interaction. And as you do that, your reputation grows and your network grows naturally as well.
No, that's really interesting. Oh, fantastic. I've just got sort of 6 very quick questions for you now. So,
Sure.
Got a one word answers. Who or what inspires you?
2 words: authenticity and courage.
And do you attribute success to hard work or is it luck?
Definitely both. Definitely both. You need a bit of luck and you need hard work as well.
Yeah, it's true. And what propels you forward? What gets you up in the morning?
That would be making an impact.
Favorite quote or motto that you live by?
I'm a massive fan of Brene Brown, shamelessly so. And I think one of the ones that really resonates with me of hers is, it goes, at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of my life, I want to be able to say that I contributed more than I criticized. And that's something I strive. I'm not there, but I strive to do daily.
What's the coolest payments company today?
Of course, Spring by Citi.
You can't say that.
Yes, but beyond that, I'm super excited about the, some amazing payments companies that are emerging out of Africa. And I think the payments and fintech scene in Africa is very exciting.
Oh, that's interesting. I'll take a look at that. Well, Lola, that's been great. Thank you so much for your time today. Very insightful and very, very inspirational. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me, Avril. Appreciate it.